Bare feet strike dry earth in uneven rhythm as a line of early Homo erectus-like ancestors pushes across the open savanna. Their bodies are tall and lean compared to earlier hominins, built for distance rather than trees. Arms swing low, hands gripping rough stone flakes and battered cores. Infants cling to hips. An elder limps in the center, supported by two younger adults who refuse to leave him behind. Above them, the sun burns without mercy. Ahead, the land stretches wide and empty. They are migrating because staying meant death. Behind them lies a drying basin where game vanished and waterholes turned to cracked clay. Hunger drove them forward days ago. Now endurance is the only weapon they have left. One adult pauses, crouching low, pressing fingers into the dust. A track, fresh antelope. Heads lift. The band shifts direction instantly, the entire group bending like a single body toward the chance of meat. They spread out, not in strategy born of language, but instinct sharpened by generations. One figure creeps closer, stone flake held tight, eyes fixed on the twitching legs ahead. But before the band can close the distance, the wind changes, the antelope bolts, dust explodes. The chase lasts seconds, not miles. The animal is gone. Energy bleeds away with every failed attempt. The group regathers, shoulders slumped, ribs showing through skin. A juvenile stumbles. A female lifts him without hesitation, adding his weight to her own. The march resumes. Survival means never stopping. By midday, heat turns the savanna into a shimmering blade. The band reaches a shallow river, more mud than water. They rush forward, kneeling, scooping brown liquid with cupped hands and folded leaves. One adult uses a hollowed gourd-like shell scavenged long ago, carefully passing it to a nursing mother first. Children are pushed to drink before the strong. This is not kindness, it is continuity. Suddenly, birds explode from the reeds. The band freezes. From the tall grass emerges a saber-toothed cat, its shoulders rolling low, eyes locked on the smallest, slowest shape. Panic surges through the group like fire. Adults step forward instinctively, raising arms, shouting soundless threats through bared teeth and pounding chests. Stones fly, not to kill, but to confuse. The cat lunges anyway, a blur of muscle and hunger. A young adult falls. The cat's jaws snap inches from his leg as others swarm, striking with stones, hacking blindly. One blow lands true. Blood sprays. The cat recoils, snarling, then vanishes back into the grass, wounded but alive. The band does not celebrate. The fallen adult drags himself up, bleeding, shaking. A female presses crushed leaves against the wound, binding it with strips of hide carried for this purpose. The group knows infection can kill as surely as teeth. They move again immediately. Staying invites the cat's return. Clouds gather by afternoon, towering and dark. Wind whips dust into spirals. When the storm breaks, it is sudden and violent. Rain hammers the land, turning dry ground into sucking mud. Visibility vanishes. The band bunches together, adults forming a living wall around children and the wounded. Lightning splits the sky. Thunder shakes the earth beneath their feet. The river they crossed swells rapidly. Water surges across the plain, cutting off the path behind them. They are forced uphill toward a rocky outcrop, rising like an island from the flood. Slipping, clawing, they climb as water races at their heels. One infant nearly slips free, but a hand catches him at the last moment, fingers digging deep, refusing to let go. They reach the rocks just as the flood claims the low ground. Night falls fast after the storm. The temperature drops. The band huddles in a shallow overhang, soaked, shivering. There is no fire. Control of flame is still uncertain, occasional, precious. Bodies pressed together for warmth. The wounded adult groans silently, eyes wide with pain. An elder rubs ash from an old burned log, saved for its bitter smell, into the wound, a crude attempt to ward off rot. In the darkness, eyes glow. Hyenas circle below, laughing in the night, drawn by blood and weakness. The band does not sleep. Adults take turns standing, gripping stones, ready to strike shadows. Hours stretch like years. At dawn, the hyenas retreat. The floodwaters recede enough to move. The band descends cautiously, weaker now, but alive. They follow the river's new course, knowing water means life, even danger-filled life. Days pass in exhaustion and hunger. Foraging yields roots and tubers, dug up with stone-edged sticks. A child finds a clutch of eggs. They are swallowed raw, shells crunching between teeth. Meat is still absent. Strength fades. Then they find bones. A massive carcass, an elephant calf, dead from disease or flood, lies half submerged near the riverbank. Vultures scatter as the band approaches. This is opportunity edged with peril. Lions will return. There is no hesitation. Stone tools strike bone. Hands tear hide. Fat and flesh are hacked free in frantic silence. Children are fed first, smearing grease across their faces. Marrow is cracked open, the richest food prized above all. The wounded adult eats, strength flickering back into his eyes. A roar shakes the air. Lions emerge from the trees, 3, then 4. The band scrambles. Some grab meat, others stand ground, throwing stones, screaming wordless defiance. One lion charges. A male leaps forward, striking its nose with a rock. Another adult stabs wildly with a sharpened flake. Pain and surprise turn the charge aside, but the lions will not retreat forever. The band is forced to choose, fight and die, or flee and abandon the kill. They flee. Carrying what meat they can, they run until lungs burn and legs tremble. Only when the roars fade do they collapse. The loss is heavy, but the meat they saved is enough. They eat in silence, sharing strips of flesh, grease dripping down chins. Survival has been purchased at a terrible price. The wounded adult worsens that night. Fever takes him. The band gathers close. Hands touch his shoulders, his face. When his breathing stops, they do not move for a long time. Then they leave him, carefully, placing stones around his body. Not ceremony as we know it, but recognition. He mattered. The migration continues. Weeks later, the land changes. Grass thins. Trees cluster near a distant horizon. A vast lake glints under the sun. Game returns. Zebra, wildebeest, antelope. The band stands at the edge of this new world, scarred but unbroken. A child laughs silently as he splashes in shallow water. Adults watch, tension slowly loosening. The elder, still alive, kneels and drinks deeply. A female shares the last dried meat with the group, tearing it into equal pieces. They have crossed into survival again. As the sun sets over the savannah, the band moves along the lake's edge, silhouettes stretching long across the earth. Their path is uncertain, their future unwritten, but their endurance has carried them forward, step by step, generation by generation.